Good morning, everybody. I'm Coach Tom. Welcome to my channel, Creating Your New Reality. I'm a self-actualization coach. What that means is that I help people cultivate, develop, and then express their true selves in the areas of their relationships, their personal development, and their careers. Are you ready? Let's go. Now, today I wanted to talk about a technique that I like to use that has helped me get off of dead center in a lot of ways. And you didn't know me when I was a young man. I'm 53 now. And when I was younger, I had a problem really, it wasn't getting motivated. I was plenty motivated. I had all kinds of energy, but I didn't have any belief in myself for one thing. And then if I did have belief in myself, if I had the confidence to want to go do something, I had no idea how to go about making that opportunity happen. So in my mind, I created a way forward in certain areas that has helped me immensely as I've gone through life. Maybe you can use it too. But it's a way to get yourself off dead center, and it's really cutting off all avenues of escape. Okay, it's kind of harsh, but it was effective. And again, if you can use it, I wholeheartedly encourage you to try it out. In one area that I used it, there were a couple, but way back when I wanted to learn martial arts, I found a new school that I wanted to try. I was probably in my, I want to say mid-20s at the time that I found the place. It was my first exposure to the Filipino martial arts, and I was all excited about it. And I said, you know what? I'm committed. I'm in. So I meet a man who went on to become a mentor and a great friend of mine, still to this day. And what I did was, when I got the tour of the school, we talked philosophy, we talked things, had meeting of the minds. I pulled out the old Discover card, slapped it down on his desk, and I paid for a year in advance for these lessons. Now, you might say, Tom, who the heck does that in today's culture? And even he was taken aback, because usually in the West, people don't commit to that at that level to a teacher or a system or a thing. I don't care what it is. You just don't normally see that. But my thinking was that if I go ahead and I pay for this, I'm not only showing them that I'm serious about what I'm doing there, and I'll get access to being taught everything, and that's another discussion about how to honor your teachers. I felt that if I went and spent that money, not only would I show them respect and honor, but that also, in my mind, that I already spent that money, there was no backing out. Okay, I had to, at the very least, it would get my ass out of the house and down to the studio to learn and put more things in it, because I had invested money. Okay, now money to me is a spiritual thing. Okay, money is a symptom. Money is energy. Money is, I'm trading my life, my blood, sweat, and tears, and hours. Time is a spiritual thing as well. So I'm putting energy into something, and I'm getting money back. So that money is a holy spiritual thing. If I give somebody money, if I put money down on something, that is saying that I love that thing. I am committed to that thing. It's just not dollars and cents to me, but again, another video. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that because I put everything of me, I'm putting myself into my training, into my learning. I presented this to the owners of the school, the teachers of the school. They looked at me a lot different, and they started pouring their knowledge into me. And to this day, again, this was back in the mid-90s. So now to this day, fast forward, I went from being a kid with really no coordination, no self-confidence, no anything, to where now I train and also teach Filipino and Indonesian martial arts. Okay, it's a big thing to me. It is something that I very much love to do. I identify with it. It's been a great way of self-development. These are all things that we're going to talk about in future videos. The idea of a sacred movement, helping you overcome yourself and teach you things and open doorways and gateways. It's all really cool stuff. But that was how I did it. I committed to it, and I did not allow myself to have an escape route. And through that, because I didn't allow myself a way to backpedal out of things. I learned and was given so many great gifts. When I was younger, it was very easy for me to quit. I was allowed to quit music lessons, even though I always wanted to play music. I was allowed to quit stick and ball sports, even though I sucked at it. And it probably would have been better for my self-development at that age if my parents said, no, you finish out the season, you made a commitment. But I didn't have parents like that. Okay, my parents didn't really know what to do with me. I was pretty strong-willed. I was loud, angry most of the time, very volatile. So they pretty much let me do what I want, and that can be dangerous. So it wasn't until I learned how to channel myself and direct myself and become self-propelled that I was able to figure some of these things out. So, and another thing that I did, fast forward in life in terms of career, okay? My first job, big boy job out of high school, was working in an aluminum casting foundry. Very ugly environment, very not a nice place for anybody to work. Surrounded by negativity, a lot of angry people. You walk into drug deals on the loading dock at 3 o'clock in the morning, and suddenly you are, it's like that. Okay, so I had the occasion. My older brother was an executive recruiter, and he was killing it. He's another fellow that taught himself how to do these things on his own. He was a great mentor to me in this. So he teaches me how to be an executive recruiter. He was doing so great at it, and the foundry I worked at was right around the corner from his house. I'd go over there at lunchtime, I'd visit him, and I'd watch what he was doing. Oh, you're making money talking to people. That looks like fun. It didn't look easy to me. I knew they were high-level conversations, but it looked like fun. And because I like to talk, if you haven't noticed. So, all right. So he tells me, he said, would you like to try this? I said, sure. So I go the next day. He tells me to be there bright and early, 8 in the morning. I do this. He sits me down. He has a telephone set up. And in recruiting, what we really do is we don't find jobs for people. What we do is we find people to fill specific opportunities that companies pay us to fill. So he says, I need X type of person in this geographic location doing this type of job. Just get me names. All of a sudden, zap, I'm a research assistant, right? Took to it like a duck to water. I get them a whole list of names, and they're good names. Okay, so we're off and running, right? So as time marches on, I'm working at the foundry at night, and in the daytime, I'm pounding the phones, learning the fine art of being an executive recruiter, and I'm loving it. I am having so much fun, okay? And the foundry work became less and less important. And I'm getting a better concept of self. But I'm like, a crossroads, okay? I didn't feel that I could make a full-time run at recruiting because I guess I was scared or whatnot. And then one day, because the foundry was very tied to automotive and aerospace, the layoff rumors started. Oh my God, we're laying people off. Some people were going to ask to take a layoff, all these things. And I made a decision that day. I said, you know what? If this is to be, I'm taking the layoff, and I'm going to go full-time being a recruiter, and I am not coming back. I'm going to make this work. So you know what? Layoff notice came, and it was real. I volunteered for the layoff. A kid that I was training on the job I was doing had 3 little girls at home. He was the sole breadwinner, and I said, dude, it's all you. You can have my spot. I'm out, and I did not look back. And when I took the layoff, the controller of the company, who he and I were not friends, the president of the company, we were not friends. We banged heads quite a bit. And they all laughed at me. They said, you're going to do what? They said, if you want to work for free, because it was a commission-based position, they said, if you want to work for free, you can do that here. We won't pay you shit. And I vowed right there. And I realized that I wasn't going to get anywhere unless I believed in myself and pushed myself. And that's exactly what I did. And I've been able to turn that into a career. And again, it's another video, the trajectory on that. But it's one of those things. You get those gut check moments as a man, as a woman. You get a gut check moment that sometimes your life is just put right in front of you. And I didn't always do this, and I haven't always done this. Sometimes I've made the wrong choice when I've been presented with those gut check moments. But you know what? This one, in my spirit. The Bible even says if I didn't say what I needed to say, the rocks would cry out and say it for me. So I said it, I stood up, and I took that layoff, and I dove headfirst into my new career, have not looked back. So again, I cut off the safety net. I am not going back. I will be unemployable. I will not be able to go get a W-2 job because I'll be too good at what I'm doing. And that's exactly what happened. And it hasn't always been super successful. A lot of learning, a lot of fits and starts, getting my nose broken, and trying to transform myself into things. But you know what? It comes down to, as I always say, what do you want? How bad do you want it? So again, I know this video went a bit long today, but man, I just wanted to say, cut off all avenues of escape. If you want to do a thing, move forward. The only way out is through. So I want to thank you for tuning in today. I love you guys. I want you to be self-actualized, but I want you to be yourselves. I love you so much. Have a great Saturday. You take care. Bye-bye.